Alright, welcome back to DTR's YouTube channel. I'd like to start off by saying thanks to all our new subscribers, as well as all our current subscribers. You all are really helping the channel grow, and we really do appreciate it. Alright, welcome back to DTR's YouTube channel. In this series of videos, we're going to be profiling this 1966 Impala SS 427 4¼ horse big block car. Yeah, the car looks really nice, and it is a complete restoration that was previously done not too many years ago, but there are a multitude of issues with this car that the customer is unhappy with from the first job that was done with it. This is a customer of mine that I've done 2 projects for. The 1968 Montego MX 4-speed car, the gold car, and his other 1968 Montego MX convertible, but that's a 390 with a 2-barrel car and an automatic. That's the car he's owned all his life, but I did a restoration of the gold car, nut and bolt, and the blue Montego, which he owned all his life. I redid the paint, and that car is looking restoration fresh. So out of all his cars that he owns, this car is the most valuable car, and it has the worst looking paint on it. So he insisted on bringing it out and us do what we do here at DTR. Some of the things, it's hard to see in photos and video, but when you start looking at the paint, there's something happening underneath the paint, and I'm not sure what it is. And I've got some different feedback on how the original job was done, and I think some of the things that were done were just not done correctly. And if you don't do a job correctly, use the right products in the right order and so on, you get these things out in the sun, and the sun makes, like I say all the time, it makes the science come alive. And if the science is wrong, things are going to fail. You got to believe the science, everybody. Remember that. So there's also other issues, like from day one after he got the car back, he was having problems with window alignment. Well, it took me 10 seconds to look at the car and see that the door was completely misaligned. Well, if the door's misaligned, you're never going to get the window aligned, because the door is the foundation for the window. The hinges seem like they're a little loose, so I'll be addressing that, whatever the case may be, whether it's putting new hinge pins in, replacing the hinges with original hinges. Again, because this car will only get original parts put on it. This customer is meticulous about what goes on his cars, and he wants as much original parts on his cars as he can get. but that's one of the issues. We have a trunk issue I'll be going over. There's some panel alignment stuff, but primarily the paint has a lot of just things wrong with it. For as long and straight as this car is, and for a dark color, it's really wavy, and it needs to be, you know, blocked really straight and really proper to justify a dark color like this. And right now, it's just, it might be okay to some people, and maybe from original, these cars look the way they look now, but with what we have today and the way we can make cars look, you know, these cars can look like, you know, perfect mirrors, and that's the goal for this job, is to make the paint look perfect. So we'll take a quick walk around the car and show you try and show you some of the things that are wrong with it. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to really show the flaws in the paint because it's very difficult to see, but there's a lot of dirt in it. There's some kind of fisheye action happening, and then depending on what light you look at it in, you can see like a lot of tiny little, just like tiny little specks all over the car. And I'm just afraid, without stripping all the paint off that's on it now, no matter what I do to it, those problems are probably going to come back, whatever I put on top of it. So let's just take a quick look at the car and some of the details of it and some of the things we're going to try to accomplish here. So you'll have to all forgive me for doing this inside the paint booth because the weather outside ain't so great. So this is what we are stuck doing. But there is the heart and soul of this car, big block 427. This is an all original matching numbers car. This is also, if I didn't mention earlier, this is a 4-speed car. This is the holy grail of Impala SS's here. You know, for some people, I mean, everybody has their favorite and whatever, but I mean, this interior was done by, I believe, the person who does all our interior work, because this customer and him are very good friends. The top, I know, was done by the same guy we have our tops done by, and he does really, really good work. But these are the aspects I'm just showing everybody that are all done. I mean, this is a finished car, and despite how nice this might look, based on the other jobs that DTR did for this customer, he's unsatisfied with what he has with this car, appearance-wise. Let's see here. There's a lot of dumb, really dumb, insignificant things, but I'm going to be taking the fenders and the header panel, and I'll probably just take them over to my sandblaster and have him strip them for me. The cowl panel, I'll have him strip that. That'll just make life easier for me. Because, you know, the doors, I'm focused on the exterior of this car. I won't be stripping the door jambs and things like that. So the door jamb, or the doors, are pretty much going to stay on the car for this entire project. And we're just going to focus on the outside of the car. But the driver door here is the one that has the issue. You can see we have a huge misalignment issue in every direction, and when you look at the way the door sticks out from the quarter, it's out this way. It is and it isn't, meaning because the door is hanging low, this part of the door especially is going to stick out, where if this door went straight up, this door would come into the quarter and this would be almost parallel and perfect. But we also have a tremendous, you know, this gap is really close here, and the door just needs to be moved forward a little bit more, which will help with everything else, all the other problems that he was having with this. But one of the problems is the hinge pins being lame and letting the door just fall when you open it. It opens and closes well, but that's because the striker is adjusted correctly to the latch, but in the end, the door's hanging too low. So we'll fix that. It's another, I mean, the body work on the quarters is so-so. It's not terrible. It'll definitely be better. Again, it's very hard to see in here exactly what I mean. But this thing for being such a dark color, it's way too wavy for his needs. Back here we got this issue where the deck lid is basically bowed up here and pushed in here, so we're going to try and flex, basically pull this out, which will then in turn hopefully get this to lay down a little bit. I have messed with it a little bit, but it's going to take a little bit more force than what I can just do with my 5 fingers. But there's some alignment, you know, there's all kinds of alignment issues that, you know, the alignment of the trim, the heights, and again, these aren't flush. This is in too far. And then over here we got this, the deck lid is down way lower than the quarter and the quarter extension. So we got to figure out what's going on there. We have there, yeah, you can't see it. There used to be another, or somebody had another antenna right here. There's a real slight dimple. You can feel it with your hands, but you ain't gonna be able to see it with the camera, unfortunately. Maybe you can. I won't be able to tell. But there's an antenna hole here, and it's basically, I believe it's just puttied shut and like panel bonded shut or something like that, but you can see it plain as day otherwise. It's a lot of like little insignificant things like that that need to be taken care of. The underside of the trunk, I'm not going to have to repaint. The inside of the trunk's already finished. We won't have to be coating that. Those things are all done. But it's basically a exterior body job. This side door is alignment and everything is really good, so we won't have to mess with that at all. And I thought there was something, yeah, there's on the hood, I don't know if it's gonna pick up or not, I'm trying to get it. There's an area right here that has, oh yeah, there, I think you can see it a little bit. Yep, there you can see it. I don't know what that is going on, but that's all underneath the paint. So those are the kind of things that you can't just paint over. So that's unfortunately why we have to strip this entire car down to get down to the foundation and start completely from scratch. So that is our 66 Impala SS. again, I would have took more video out in the shop or outside, but the shop is consumed with our other project and the weather isn't really cooperating today, so this is what we're left with.